In this video, we're going to talk about 4.1 Objective 2, where we compute and interpret measures of center for a set of data. I'm going to work the first problem by hand, and then the second problem is a technology problem where I'm going to be using the calculator. And I'll show you actually a few different ways to get the items of interest here from the calculator. There are other techniques that you can use for technology, such as Excel or StatCrunch, but I'm not going to cover those. I'm just going to stick with the calculator right now for these videos. So listed below are measurements of the head injury criterion HIC for 7 small cars tested in crashes by a traffic safety organization. Higher numbers are associated with a higher risk of injury. Find the mean, median, and mode of the listed numbers, and can you draw any conclusion about the risk of head injury in small cars versus large cars? So let's go ahead and sort this list here. I believe 357 is my lowest, then 362, and then 421, and then 436, 439, 521, and then 525. Why did I put them in order? Because that's going to help me find the median later. But right now I want to find the mean, so I want to add all these things up together. I want to count how many things are in the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things in my list. That's going to be important in just a second. So let's add all these things up. 357 plus 362 plus 421 plus 436 plus 439 plus 521 plus 525. When I add them all together, I get 3061. I'm going to take 3061 divided by 7. And they already told me I'm going to round. So the mean is, and I'm going to round to 1 decimal place as needed. So that's 437.3. Now I want to find the middle number. So I want 7 plus 1 divided by 2 is 8 over 2 is 4. I'm going to find the fourth entry in the list. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there is 436. And then is there something that comes up most often in the list? No, there's no mode. Every number here is unique. So there's no mode. What conclusions can you make? Well, we don't really have any numbers for large cars. So the data are all for small cars. So we can't compare large cars to small cars when there's no data for large cars. So they do not by themselves tell us anything about the comparison. So there's that answer. Okay. Now let's go forward here. About the following list contains the jersey numbers of 10 players on the roster of the Chicago Sky when they won in 2021. Won the 2021 WNBA championship. Find the mean, median, and mode, if any. There shouldn't be a mode because people shouldn't be wearing the same jersey number, right? Are these statistics meaningful? And they're probably not going to be meaningful, but let's go ahead and enter my data here. So 3 and then 14 and then 45, 1, 7, 24, 30, 22, 11, and 2. I'm going to quit and come back to my stat menu. I'm going to sort my list in ascending order. And my list was in L1, so that's second one. To do that, it's done. When I come back, stat, enter, everything's sorted for me. I can see that there are 10 items in this list. Let's go ahead and find their sum. So second list, math, I want to find the sum of what's in L1. And then I want to divide that by 10, which is the number of things in L1. And I get 15.9. And let's find the median of the list. List median of L1. And tells me that the median is 12.5 because that's going to be halfway between a couple items in the list here, probably between 11 and 14 in the list. Now, what is or are the modes? Let's go back and look at that. Yep, just verify there's no mode. And are the statistics mean, median, and mode meaningful? No, because the Jersey measures don't measure or count anything. So let's now use a different tool that's available to us here that's going to be very helpful later on. Once I put the data in the list, I can arrow over to calculate and go to one variable statistics, and it asks me what list I want to calculate. We'll have times that we come back here and we have data in one list and frequency in another. We'll get to that later. But here's my mean, my sum of my x's, my n. You won't need the sum of the x squared. We'll talk about standard deviation later. And these two standard deviation calculations will be extremely helpful to you. We have a minimum x value, a first quartile, a median, a third quartile, and a max. But right here, we've got the median, and up here, we've got the mean. And those are the two things that they ask for, and they're just right there in that list for us. I think you also saw options. I didn't use it, but if I wanted to find the mean of the list, I could have just said mean of the list, and it would have given it to me like that. All kinds of fun things that we can do in our list commands here to sort and to get a cumulative sum and to find the min and the max and the mean and the median and the sum and the standard deviation and the variances are all things. Very rarely will we need to find products of things, but we might want that. So there we go. And I think that that is everything for this video. So we'll come back next time and talk about 4.1 Objective 3. See you for the next video.